Yo, what's good, guys? This is James bringing you a Zenkai series deck profile here at the Menards Club, and today I'm going to be going over Green King Piccolo. Longtime viewers of the channel will know I really liked playing the Red King Piccolo, so having this kind of like throwback leader to him was kind of cool. He's very aggressive leaning, so if you like spamming the board, this is going to be a great leader for you. He's not the most straightforward one to play. He's got like quite a bit of Zenkai energy management you have to do, and like a lot of things you have to keep track of, but if you don't mind micromanaging a lot of different things, then this will be a great deck for you. So he's got an auto, when he attacks, add one card from your life to your hand, draw one, then play up to one green demon clan with energy cost 2 and 10,000 power from your hand. Then he can awaken when you have 4 or less life, or if you have 3 or more demon clan cards with energy cost 2 or more in play, draw one, switch one. We're generally just going to be awakening with 4 or less life, just because we don't swarm the board that quickly, and he cuts his own life on his attack, so generally be going to do a normal awaken there. He's got a permanent on the back. If one of your Namekian or Demon Clan cards would be KO'd by an opponent's skill, you can drop a Demon Clan from your Z energy instead. So it's useful for the green mirror, but not very useful against the majority of the field, but it can come up. It's something to keep in mind. Then on the backside, he's got when he attacks, you draw one, then you play up to one Piccolo Jr. or Demon Clan card with energy cost 3 or less and 1,500 power or less from your hand. So he gets to play fatter guys on the back. And then his Z-Awaken is Piccolo Jr., the Vengeful Awakening, and this is kind of your all-in guy. He Z-Awakens for free, but your life has to be at 2 or less, and you have to have a green Piccolo, King Piccolo in your drop area. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind, is you want to make sure you get a green King Piccolo in your drop area around turn 3, just to make sure you can go into this whenever you want. Then he pumps he's a 15k, but he gives your green Namekian Demon Clan cards plus 5k power. That includes himself, so that means he's effectively a 20k. And then if you have King Piccolo in your Z energy, he gets an additional 5k in crit during your turn. So during your turn, he's a 25k crit, as long as you get a green King Piccolo set up in your Z energy. So you have to make sure you have one in your drop and in your Z energy. So, you know, but we have good access to King Piccolos in this deck, so it's not too hard of a hurdle to get through. It's just something to keep in mind. Then he also has an activate main. Once per turn, play a green Demon Clan card with energy cost 3 or less from your hand. So effectively on the turn that you Z-Awaken, you can swing with your leader, play a guy for free, Z-Awaken during combat, and then you can go into your main step again and play another dude for free off of your Piccolo Jr. So very strong. The rest of the Z deck isn't anything crazy. It's just we've got 4 of the Friezas and then 1 of the Turtle School. You can also play the 1-drop Vegeta Black promo just to help cut your life a little bit more. I didn't have one on hand for the deck profile because I've only got 2. They're off in some other decks right now, but that's definitely another card you can put in. But you're mostly just going to be going into the freezes and then your leader. This guy's a 20k with deflect. It comes up not very much, but it's better than not having it at all. So that's your Z deck. Very straightforward. You're mostly going to be using your Z energy just to Z Awaken. Getting into the deck, so we will show off the guys that you can free play. So here you've got your 4 tambourines and your 4 cymbals. These are the guys you can free play on your front side. Tambourine's a 10k. You can pay a green when he's played to draw 1, and then when he's played, you KO an opponent's battle card with the cost 4 or less. So fairly solid removal. And then cymbal is kind of like your lord, where when he attacks, you choose up to 2 Demon Clan cards in your battle area that get plus 5k for the turn. That can include himself. So you know, very strong pressure there, and you know, he can pump all of your 10ks to make them actually threatening to an awakened leader. And this also stacks with the leader's pump on the Z-Awaken, so they can go up to 20ks. He's also got an auto, if you pay 1 and your leader's a King Piccolo, when he's using a combo, you give your leader double strike for the battle, so he's kind of an in-archetype Champa, but it's only for King Piccolo, it's not for Piccolo Jr., like the Z leader is, so you can't give double strike to your Z leader, which is with this, which is kind of annoying, but not the worst. Then when you get to the backside, you can also free play Drum Demonic Subordinate. So this guy's a blocker. When he's played, you KO an opponent's battle card. Doesn't matter what cost it is. If he's placed in your drop area from your Z energy, you remove him from the game, and that's because he has this activate battle limit 1. If your leader's a Piccolo or Piccolo Jr. with an original power of 15k, you use this card in a combo from your drop, and then at the end of the battle, you send it to the warp. But instead, you can send it to your Z energy instead of going, so you can combo from the discard pile at the end of the combo, put it in your Z energy, and then if you ever pay this out of your Z energy, then it goes removed from the game. So he's kind of like the launch from the set 12 launch deck for the deck. He's very strong. You're mostly going to be using him for your Z energy, but you can also free play him in later stages of the game. This is going to be your mulligan condition for the deck, is you're going to want to find one of those guys, but you also really need to find King Piccolo Seal Undone. This guy is like the piano for the old deck. He's got barrier, which is even stronger than the protection piano had. Then he has an auto if you play a Demon Clan. If you play him when you have a Demon Clan in play, you draw one. So if you miss him on turn 1, you can still get a card draw. And then he has a limit 1. Your leader's Green King Piccolo. When you play a Demon Clan card with energy cost 2 or more, using a skill, you draw 1, and you can add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. So this is going to be your way you get a big fat hand, because your leader draws 1 and then plays a guy off a skill, and then if he's in play, you get to draw another 1 and potentially take a life to cut yourself down to 2, which is where you want to be for your Z-Awaken. This is the card you really want to see on turn 1. Turn 2 at the latest, and even if you see him on turn 2, as long as you played a Demon Clan earlier, you'll still get your max card draw, which is nice. But since he's so important, we're definitely playing 4 copies of Assimilate, because he's a target for Assimilate, and then also 2 copies of Pilaf, Shu, and My Madcap Miscalculation. These guys are from the set, and if your leader's a Green Piccolo on play, you can either draw a card or search your deck for this guy and put him into play and then kill these guys. So then that effectively gives you 10 copies of this when you're looking for it on turn 1, and this is a 53 card build. So 10 copies with 53 cards gives you really good odds, especially with the Dragon Ball Mulligan, to make sure you open with this guy every time. Then since we're playing Assimilate, we're using Namekian Duo Saonal as our super combo. He is tutorable with Assimilate, and if your leader is a green Namekian and your life's at 5 or less, you draw 1, and then he gets plus 10k power for the combo. So he's lets you combo at 5 life, which is even better than just comboing at 4 life. Very, very strong card. Glad I had my foils on hand, although I didn't have any foil Assimilates, unfortunately. Those are hard to come by now. Alright, for the rest of the deck, we've got our King Piccolo, Newly Youthful Conqueror. This guy can evolve for 1 on top of a King Piccolo, so you can evolve on top of the 1-drop if you're pushing for game. You can also limit 1, pay a green. When you play a Demon Clan off of a skill, you can play him from your hand. And then he has an on attack limit 1, switch him to active mode, and then choose 2 of your Demon Clans to get plus 5k for the turn. Just incredibly good Lord type effect. We're not always going to be playing him, because you have to either evolve on top of your really strong card draw card, or you have to play him at kind of an awkward time where you have to do it at the same time as doing your leader effect. So we're only playing 3. He has a King Piccolo, though, to help fulfill our awakening conditions and everything, too. So we want to keep the count of King Piccolos high. Then we've got our other boss monsters of the deck, the staple introduced. In this set, we've got Son Goku and Piccolo Jr. Fated Rivals. So the Son Goku, we're not playing the evolve target for the Piccolo Jr. because I think he's kind of poopy. It's too hard to get the free play because you have to have a Demon Clan in play with cost 2 or more, which it's too hard because everything comes stable to removal now. But you can just play him for 1 if you play the Goku, and you can play the Goku for 2 if your opponent has 3 or more energy and he plays a Saiyan, Earthling, or Namekian card from your Z energy at the bottom of your deck. So he's a double strike barrier, come in to play, pop a card, ignoring barrier, and then this guy is you can if you have him in play, you can play him for 1. Then he's got dual attack, and each time he attacks, your opponent discards 1 card from their hand. Just really, really good boss monster set. Playing 4 would probably be even better, but the space is so tight in green, it's hard to find room for 4. So 3-3 split, trying to find them by turn 3, turn 4 is generally a pretty safe bet. And then one really cool thing you'll want to note about the Son Goku Fated Rival is that he can put any Namekian, not just like a King Piccolo, under your deck. So you can put if you stock a super combo up in your Z energy, you can put it back into your deck. So then you can tutor it with Assimilate again. So you can play 5-6 super combos in a game with this deck. It's very silly. Very, very cool interaction my wife figured out when she was playing this deck. Yeah, very, very cool. Just a great set of boss monsters. And then for the rest of our battle cards, we've got our secret rare, which is just Pan. We spam the board, so she's really nice as an extra beater or as a floodgate. And then our overwhelm card is SS4 Vegeta Faint Greeting. He's just a chunky 30k, and then gives a little bit of extra hand pressure to go along with our Piccolo Jr. Fated Rival. Make sure our opponent's hand stays not too low, or not too high. Then we got our Unison. We've got 4 of Green Dad. He's just very good. The auto to become a 20k is great. You just want to make sure you sequence it in a way so that you don't do your minus afterward, because this only procs once per turn. And if you -1 to give him dual attack, then the power boost falls off. But just the card draw is really good. will generally be awakening by turn 2 in this deck, so you want to be playing your King Piccolo on turn 1, and then turn 2 play this guy, and then awaken, and then use your extra energy for whatever. Or if you missed your King Piccolo in 1, you can use the energy for a King Piccolo 1-drop. Then we've got our interactions. We've got 4 Homicidal Clones, just, you know, help cut our life a little bit more, and then 2 Dormant Potential Unleashed. I was playing 3 and 4, it just felt a little clunky. We're just kind of an aggro deck that just wants to fly close to the sun with a low life total, and the Homicidal Clones helps us protect our Unison because he's not very beefy, whereas Dormant's not as good at that because he only comes in with 3 markers, essentially. Then we've got the 4 Charismatic Villain rounding out the deck list. So, yeah, that's the deck, guys. Seems pretty straightforward, but there's a lot of stuff you have to manage between like making sure your King Piccolos and Namekians are all in the right piles, like your Z energy and stuff like that. So that can be a little annoying, but otherwise it's not too bad. The deck seems okay. It's not like crazy good. I'm not sure if it's better than the red King Piccolo deck, but I'm definitely going to be trying it out. I've just gotten a few games in, and this build's been really, really solid. The Assimilate package has really kind of set this apart from other ones that I've played. But yeah, you just kind of want to play your guy out on turn 1 or turn 2, swing with your leader, just dump guys into play, and then kind of put up the pressure and try and kill them by turn 3. So yeah, that's the deck profile, guys. Thanks for checking it out, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.